This is take 5 of trying to record this stupid fucking light. First things first, I want to say welcome back. Secondly, I want to say shout out to Devon, who, if you're watching this on the 11th or later, it's that fucker's birthday, so go and torment him, because, yeah, fuck him. Nice, good picks, good running wild choice, interesting maiden choice, but I understand why. But no, I just want to say thank you to everybody. I'm enjoying this so far. It's fun to make some new friends and just an excuse to listen to more fucking death metal, I guess. But today we're going to talk about one and done bands. Bands that only really did one album in their career and kind of either are still playing or kind of just disappeared off the face of the earth. Always fucking sucks when that happens. But no, for the first one, we're going to go to all the way to Scotland with Cerebral Bore, The Maniacal Miscreation. This was one of the first brutaler, is that a fucking word? Don't think so. Bands I ever got into in high school. I think I found them through Infidel Amsterdam. He did something with them, but I grabbed this CD around the end of 2013, so I've had it for a really long time. I think I have a shirt from that year too of this, and it's deep in the archives now, but I really would want to get another one of the album. But just it's a brutal fucking release. You got The Bald Cadaver, Entombed and Butchered Bodies, Mingled Post-Burial, Flesh Reflects the Madness, and then 24-Year Party Dungeon. Now I think about 2 years ago they re-released it, so it is still available. But this is I think an original copy. But no, this is a fucking banger. This is Scottish brutal death metal, but it's just a fucking belter of an album. Okay, next, I'm gonna go to Sweden, and I bought this album because I thought the cover looked cool. That's always the case, isn't it? Being Hypnosia with Extreme Hatred, which is on the Protector Records label. I don't know if they're really doing anything at the moment, but they were for a while, and they were releasing some cool stuff. Early 2000s Swedish death metal. No, sorry, late 90s, early 2000s Swedish band. Only really did this, but they did in later years do a release called Horror Infernal, which came out in 2012, which has the 96 demo, the 97 demo, the 99 mini album, and some stuff's taken from everything else. That'd be a really cool release to get. Never really been able to find that one, but you got Hypnosia. It's just brutal, fast death thrash, somewhere in that middle ground. Just a fucking sick cover. Just it's a belter of release. And yeah, on a whim, I picked this up because again I thought the cover looked cool, and I'm so glad I did. Is Circles of the Flesh, The Last Remains, Hang 'em High, Comatose. It's just this kind of thrash is always filled with banger albums and just fucking sick times. Alright, next up we've got a band I did get a recommendation from Maze of Torment from. So when Marrow and Deathfest do their event, usually they do some sort of like a pre-party thing. And I wasn't really thinking of going because at the time, in 2024, I wasn't a super duper big Sodom guy. Now I am. Again, thank you Devon for that, because you never let me fucking forget that. But Midnight was the reason I was really contemplating going. I missed them when they were here, and I was a big Midnight fan. And eventually I got really deep into Sodom, and this was another band playing. This on the thing, Morpheus Descends from New York. A 1992 release. I saw that they were playing, and Devon again said, "Oh, you probably should go and check them out. Like, they're really, really good." And I was like, "Yeah, I did." And holy shit, they're fucking fantastic, old school brutal death metal. And I'm now realizing, why am I seeing Will Rama? No, why the fuck was I seeing that? No idea what the fuck I was looking at for a second. No, it's such a fucking banger of a release. Great live band too. I know that they had a release a few years ago, which was from the Black and Crips. I think that was kind of when they came back around 2015. That has got a bunch of the old rehearsal stuff and some of the EPs, because they did do 2 after this, but they never did a full length. I was also really lucky that I got to meet 3 of the original guys who were just doing the merch, and it was purely because I picked up the CD and I was looking at the CD and the guy was looking at me and I kept looking at the picture and I looked at him and I said, hey man, it's going to sound really fucking stupid, but this is you. And he goes, yeah man, this is. And I said, how many of you in front of me are in the picture? And he goes, oh, there's 3 of us. So I met 3 of the original guys. Such nice guys, so appreciative. Was shocked when I said I'd come from Australia, and I was really stoked to see them. But no, Morpheus Descends, Ritual of Infinity, 1992. This is a Descent Records officially licensed release, but this is fucking banger, and I love this cover. Just it's a fucking banger. Okay. Next up, we have, if you watch my Swedish band, which was my first video, I mentioned these guys, but I thought, why the fuck not? Because it's still one of the best, I think, in general, Swedish albums that ever existed. This is Pathological Performances from Necrony in 1993. Yeah, this is Bitter Loss. I think that's an Australian thing. This was like a pre-Nazem band, so if you're a Nazem fan, probably familiar with this era of work. If you're a Carcass fan like myself, or a Ghoul Grind nerd, you definitely know this band. But we've got Rigor Mortis Sets In, Pro-Rectal Carnage, yeah, Rectal, The Squirming Worms. It's just a fucking banger of a release. I wish in some degree they would play shows again. I know Nazem has completely dissolved. I wish there would be some sort of tribute to them, because it's definitely worth a revisit. It's a really fucking good Swedish album. It's just good. And then, so this was the only release they ever did, but they did some demos and some stuff. And then they did a box set in 2023. That's a digital one, but it also has a few 7 inches, I think. And that was Corrupted Crescendos. That has a lot of the old demos and reworked stuff they had done over the years. But what they did do was they released their original demo from 1991, being the Severe Malignant. I really need to learn these words. Soul. No. So this was the original demo that they did. And this really nice digipack. And a fucked up CD. Because fuck you. No, so I didn't even really know about this one. I'd seen it around, was a little confused on what it actually was, but picked it up. Do Hell's Headbangers. I was doing an order, and it's a really good. It's interesting to see where they went from in a 2-year space, from this to this. Both these releases are good. Decomposed Genitals is probably the song all-consuming cartilage I would recommend from this particular one. But no, both. Necrony is going to be a band I recommend to anyone that likes Sweden or Ghoul Grind or Death Grind or extreme metal. They're severely underrated, and I wish they would do something, but we've got what we've got. Alright, next, gonna completely go somewhere different. I'm gonna talk about like a glam rock band. So that would be Candy, out on the ironically Rock Candy releases. So this one had Gilby Clarke before he would then proceed to go on to like Guns N' Roses, and he's played in a bunch of bands. Once he left, you had Brian Roxy, who now plays with Alice Cooper. But no, this is far from absolutely anything that you would normally expect me to mention. But I thought it was I think it's a fantastic release. I discovered this band through, I want to say it was the Video Dead. Okay, so I think it was on Video Dead. They had a song, Whatever Happened to Friday Night, something along those lines, and it was this band, and I thought, oh, that's really cool. So for some reason, I started looking into the band, and found this, picked it up, and have loved it ever since. Whatever Happened to Fun, Turn It Up Loud, Weekend Boy, Electric Night, Lonely Heart. It's just a fun album you can put on for people that don't necessarily like super heavy stuff, but just want something catchy. So it's very glammy, so think of like David Bowie, kind of like hard rock. Just pop rock. It's a very, very fun album. I'm really glad that I did grab it. They never did anything, but they do have a release years later, which is the Demos, which that has the song from the movie that I really like. But no, this is a banger, and it's something I really think is important to talk about. Can't Beat the Rock Candy reissue label. They do a lot of the old obscure glam, metal and hard rock and heavy metal from the 80s. It's just a good label. They put time, they put effort, and they put essays, and there's pictures, and it's reloaded, it's remastered, it's done with love, and it's done with the band helping. It's always a good thing, because you don't want to fucking reissue where they're trying to fuck them over. Like Earache. Alright, so this is the last one. This is where I was trying to stretch the rule just a tiny bit. That would be Grotesque. Now, I know what you can say. In the Embrace of Evil is not a full length, but some of the songs are redone. It was reworked. I think it is, so fuck you. But this is Thomas Lindbergh before he went on to At the Gates. Who else was in this band at the time? Oh, what was I going to... Why is it... okay, of course it's all nicknames. No one I can recognise off the thing, but... No, so it's like a blackened death metal. It's a necrophobic-y kind of sounding band. That would be a really good comparison. Very satanic, very black metal. Very, if you listen to this and then you listen to like Slaughter of the Soul, you would not think these are the same band. But if you listen to this and then you went to Gardens of Grief, which is At the Gates' first EP, I think you would kind of I think you would see where the comparisons are. This is on Distant Records, an English label, who do fantastic ones. It's a brutal release. It's Necrolord did the artwork, who I know some massive fans of on the different spectrums of this extreme metal world. Just blood runs from the altar, fall into decay, seven gates, angel's blood, nocturnal blasphemies. It's such a good fucking Ripped from the Cross is an absolute banger. It's a really important release in the zeitgeist of Swedish extremity, but I think it's a full length. So I want to mention this. They never did anything after. I know they reunited to play a few shows. I think it was around the time of the Swedish death metal book, but they just kind of called it quits. I don't think they ever really wanted to do it long term, but it's a fucking banger release. I love At the Gates, and so I love this early era. I need a shirt of this. So, yeah. So, those were some one and done bands. I could have picked Repulsion. That was kind of what I thought that was a little too obvious. I was going to... I couldn't remember anything else. But, no. So, I thought Repulsion was too obvious. but some of these weren't as obvious. But no, so if you have any one and done bands you'd like to mention, please feel free. If you have any comments, any criticisms, I'm sure Devon's probably found something again he doesn't like what I've said. Please leave a comment, subscribe, like, whatever you want. Yeah, so this has been James. Well, James's World of Brutality. I will see you again. I will probably be recording another video very, very soon, because I'm still waiting for that CD package I alluded to, but I will see you soon.